Hi everyone, we're back and today we're playing more Griselbrand. So if you haven't seen my previous videos on this deck, it's a deck where we are looking to put Griselbrand into play, and we do that through either Goryo's Vengeance or Shifting Woodland, or we've got this one Footsteps of the Goryo. But the main point, we get Griselbrand into play by reanimating him from the graveyard or a Shifting Woodland copy. We get him into our graveyard by Underworld Cookbook or Thoughtseize, or hitting him off of a Malevolent Rumble. We get Griselbrand into our hand with Demonic Counsel or just naturally drawing him. And once we have that Griselbrand into play, we draw a bunch of cards, kill our opponent with Soul Spike. Nourishing Shoal, Autochthon Worm gives us a bunch of life to continue drawing through our deck, and Endurance loops back our graveyard so that we can do even more damage if we need it. In the land spots, we have some Urza's Sagas. This fetches out Underworld Cookbook, which is a Griselbrand discard outlet, as well as being a plan B or something that can apply some pressure if our primary reanimator plan gets hated out. So that's the deck, that's the premise. The sideboard is where I've switched things up mainly compared to last time. So I'm going up on Pact. I feel like there's a little bit more counter spells floating around. I've tried cutting through the breach, and instead we have a couple Asmos as like a potential fair plan with Cookbook, Dream Devourer as a Demonic Counsel target that can potentially provide a way of getting around graveyard hate, Ulamog as an additional reanimation target that has some interesting interactions with Soul Spike pitching Griselbrand or Shoal pitch Worm. 4 Haywire Might as our primary anti-hate type of card, tutorable with Urza's Saga. Ghost Vacuum gives us an angle to play against a Surgical Extraction, and then Witherbloom Command, just sort of a general purpose anti-hate, kind of can take like a Malevolent Rumble spot and also keep our green and black counts relatively high. So that is the list. Let's hop into a league and give it a shot. Okay, so we have found a match. We are on the draw. This hand is relatively good. We have a way to get Griselbrand out of our yard with Goryo's Vengeance. We have a way to get Griselbrand into our yard with Council Cookbook, or even maybe just this Malevolent Rumble. Soul Spike is a little bit useless. We do have 2 lands that make both of our colors of mana. I am going to go ahead and keep this. Good draws. I mean, we can play Cookbook on 1, and then Council on 2, and then Goryo's on 3 is basically the plan. So with that in mind, okay, our opponent leads on Spire Bluff. We could Thoughtseize on 1. I think I'm going to hold off on that, and I think I'm just going to play Swamp and Cookbook. If they counter this for some reason, then I can always Thoughtseize myself later to get the Griselbrand into play. Okay, but they don't. I wouldn't really necessarily expect them to counter that. And what else could this be? This could also be like Grinding Breach, maybe. And a lot of, I mean, if they had like Snare, that's not relevant, although I don't think they would have held up Snare on 1 necessarily. Now it's a little bit more awkward because we, yeah, we have to potentially play something into counter magic. So I'm going to play Rumble here, I think, because I'd rather that get countered than have Council get countered. Okay, so they do Spell Snare that. Next turn, hopefully if I draw a land, I can like Thoughtseize and then Council. But, I mean, maybe they'll tap out for something. We'll see. If I don't draw a land, and they just hold mana up, I probably do just have to Thoughtseize them anyway. Okay, we do draw a land, so that's very nice. We're gonna Thoughtseize them. The counterspell or Thoughtseize. Surely they don't have another Spell Snare. Uh-oh. They do. That's annoying. Double Spell Snare. The good thing is they're down to 2 cards. So we have like 7 good hits, and as far as I know so far, all the time in the world to play them or to find them. They've got a DRC and then an Expressive Iteration. Okay. Nothing I really need to be discarding to this Cookbook yet. They exile a Tarn that they can then play as land for turn, 1 in hand. and they kept on top with their Surveil. We hit a Footsteps of the Goryo, which is really not what we need. We're just going to pass. And that would have been a good window, but I mean, as it stands, I don't regret tapping out for Counsel there. They showed that they didn't have Pierce, I think, on turn 1, otherwise they would have played it. So, I mean, it basically had to be second Spell Snare. Also, I don't think they had Force Negation, otherwise maybe they do force the Cookbook, although a little bit unclear. But what else are you going to force against a Cookbook deck? So, I mean, I don't know. But, I mean, sometimes they have it, so them's the breaks. Tap in 2. Could this be a Murktide? Yes, it is. So we're going to be under a fairly fast clock. We pick up an Urza's Saga. I mean, I'll play that, I guess. It's not super exciting. I definitely don't want to show them Shoal or Spike, or honestly Goryos either. So I don't think I want to discard anything to Cookbook. They do get to hit us for 9 here, which is not good. Now, I mean, we can get there if it's Shoal, although I think it's, or sorry, if it's Counsel, but I think they're likely to have a counterspell in hand at this point. I don't get another turn if I like discard, make a food, discard, make a food, because I'd only be at 6. Well, no, actually, should I discard the card? Potentially get a second step here. All right, I'm gonna maybe discard a Soul Spike. Seems a little bit weird, but that's a card that I could be playing even if it's not. Yeah, and then do I crack it? All right, I'll crack it. Okay. I mean, that's our best possible draw, right? And so the question here is, do we go for it, or do we figure that maybe they drew another piece of counter magic or something? So if I wait, are they going to be... Okay, so the thing is, if I wait, they're under really no incentive to tap out. They didn't tap out this past turn. So, yeah, they're just not... I think they're not going to tap out. That means that I would need to 16, 9, 19, maybe. So that means that I would need to yeah, like if I go on their upkeep Goryos, then I'm just getting hit anyway. So I might as well go now and have the ability to hit with the Griselbrand if it resolves. Yeah, I think I like this. I mean, maybe they have like Bolt or something like that, right? Or maybe they have like Spell Pierce. Surely they don't have the 4th hard counter. I mean, they might. They probably do because of what they've done with their hand so far. Okay, they have Force Negation. So they Surveil with the DRC. We do get to eat our food here, go up to 16. We have this Goryos for next turn, which is going to be a little bit of a problem because my life total is going to be too low. Although I can get Zurin Orb, so it's not completely no chance. We'll take 9 here, go to 4. I might as well just crack this food now in case they have like a weird double bolt or something like that. No, that wouldn't even do it. So they bolt, crack. Let's see. All right, so we take 9, go to 7. And we have 6 more life gain after this, after a reanimate. And surely they don't have another counterspell. And by surely they don't need to have another counterspell, I mean they definitely have another counterspell. We do get an extra life with this. All right, so I'm going to get Zurin Orb. So I could play Woodland It doesn't really do anything for me though because it's tapped. So I'm just gonna footsteps. And I mean, if they have another counterspell, then congratulations, they get us. Maybe they have another snare and okay, all right, we're in play. That's a start. So I'm gonna play a land. I'm gonna sack some lands here. So do they have some sort of removal? Looks like maybe not. They could also have like a subtlety or something, maybe. I do have a Thoughtseize up here potentially, which could be relevant. So this will take me up to 13 life, so I can draw 7. Okay, so we have Spike, which is good. So here I'm going to float. I'm going to spike them. Get rid of both of these. And even if they counter this, I do have Orb and then draw another 7. I mean, if they have like Bolt, potentially that could get us. I'm going to sack the land now, though, again, so I'm not worried about doing things in response to a Bolt. Okay, so we have Shoal Worm. That's very good. We have another Spike, but not enough land for it. So we'll exile Worm. We also have Shoal Turn Timber if this eats a counter. So that's good too. Okay, but it didn't. Now we'll draw 7 more. We've got another Shoal Worm. We've got another Shoal Worm. Looks like they've F6 now, so I like our chances. I'm going to spike them in the face. There's some Gorios. We hit nothing off of that, but that's okay, because we have another draw 7. I'm going to Thoughtseize them now while they're F6. They have Lightning Bolt, Unholy Heat. Interesting. Interesting that they don't have the Delirium for the heat. They scoop it up. Okay, I mean, yeah. We're gonna finish this one out with a unlikely finish in game 1, but we beat. What did we beat? We beat 4 hard permission. Yeah, 4 pieces of hard permission. Good stuff. I thought we were definitely losing that. What on earth? Why? All right, sure. For some reason, even if I shrink these all the way, it seems like they've raised the minimum size of the cards or something, and I hate it. I don't really know why that's the case. Maybe it makes it easier for you guys to see. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think this makes it a little bit easier compared to if you're a previous viewer, you might have seen some of my my older stuff. So I'm going to bring in the Pacts, cut a Zern Orb. Rumble is like kind of mediocre. I'll bring in Witherblooms to keep my green count up. And Thoughtseize is still good. Haywire Might, I probably want at least some access to. Ulamog. Do I want Ulamog? Maybe. Could also think about a Ghost Vacuum if I think that they are going to be playing Surgical. I think I'm going to not worry about that unless I see Surgical. Asmo, I think, is not going to really be good enough. Oh, again, yeah, I will take the Ulamog. Footsteps is not the best in a matchup that's more about instant speed. It feels weird to cut Thoughtseize against them, so I don't want to do that, but maybe we can cut 1 land on the draw. 1 land, and like, yeah, this has not necessarily been mapped out super well. All right, so maybe we don't need the Ulamog. Why this? They've definitely done some sort of update to the client here, and I think I just hate it. Maybe we don't need the Witherbloom. All right, so let's go like this. I mean, if they have, I'm expecting the majority of their hate to be like counterspells. If I see more permanent based hate, then I'll adjust up in a game 3 if needed. But generally, I feel like you generally want at least a couple, maybe one or two Haywire Mites, just because a lot of decks just randomly play like one or two pieces of hate, and it's you essentially have more copies of it because it's tutorable with the Urza Saga than the opponent does, who just has to naturally draw it. But yeah, I mean, opponent has chosen to play first. We have a Saga hand, so that's, I think, decent. A lot of the rest of this hand is not that good, although Endurance is kind of okay. I can lead on Woodland. I could Endurance pitch Shoal if I need to like keep a Griselbrand off the table. This gets a Haywire Mite. I think I'm going to keep this. I'm not super thrilled about it, but I think it has enough play to it, and I could potentially win via either the Saga plan or the main Reanimator plan. So Mortuary is a good draw. It gives us access to black mana, gives us a third land, and gives us a Surveil. And Council is also a good pickup, so I'm going to keep that. All right, a lot of that was good stuff. So we can like turn 2, Saga, Council. Okay, they're preordaining, so I like that too. And maybe we get the Griselbrand back via Woodland. I mean, if they like get another Surveil, or if they like tap and play a DRC, that's perfect. Okay, so I mean, they could have Force Negation, but we're not exactly gonna play around that here and hold back our Council. I mean, if this trades for Force Negation, I'm relatively okay with that. All right, it does not. So now we're looking for another land, largely. And it does need to kind of be on turn 4, because then we're going to lose the Saga mana, which is a little bit awkward. But having the Pact is nice. They've got Preordain, yeah. Starting next turn, depending on how things shape up, we have to start being mindful of maybe like proactively Endurancing. We also do have the ability to just like play Woodland, hold up Endurance. And this is looking like a game where maybe Zurin could have been useful, but I don't know for sure. All right, we go to our turn. We pick up another Shifting. That's excellent. So here I play Shifting. Question is, do I even play Cookbook, or do I just hold it back and make a Construct or flash in Endurance? Probably make a Construct. So next turn, I could go get a Cookbook anyway. The only way that this punishes me holding the Cookbook back is if they have some sort of like permanent based Grave Hate that they play next turn. I feel like if they had that, they would have probably played it already here. So I think I'm okay holding back a turn and make the Construct. Although it's possible that it baits a Counterspell, actually. Okay, no, I will play it. It's possible it baits a Counterspell. And maybe that helps me like fight through with Pact or something. Although not that I'm gonna need it, because my reanimation plan is Woodland. Oh no, but I need cards in my yard. Never mind. Sorcery land. Well, I'll have sorcery land, enchantment, creature. So I should be okay. Okay, they do Force and Negation, pitching Expressive Iteration. And they get their Surveil. But I'm pretty okay with that. Like, sure. Like, unless they can kill my Saga, then next turn, that gets me another Saga, or gets me another Cookbook. And they have Bauble. So they're going to hit us for 3 more here. They Bauble us. So the thing is, I do have to play on my main phase here. Because I need the mana from Saga to activate the Shifting. But I think that's okay. They'll have 4 cards. We have a Pact. So, I mean, it's probably okay. Float a mana. Search out a Cookbook. play a shifting. So we will discard a Griselbrand. Now here, I guess if they have like surgical plus another thing, that could potentially get us. But I don't really think we can play around that given the nature of our hand. We could also endurance ourselves, I guess, if it came down to that, but we'd pact first. Although they'd have to counter our pact, so maybe it would be okay. All right, let's draw some cards. Okay, so I will spike them. Get rid of a Gorios and a Thoughtseize. And they can decide whether or not they want to counter this. Counter spell, so they surveil. So here I shoal pitch worm, make them have another thing, and I'm kind of doing this to gain as much information as I can before potentially spending my pacts. And they scoop it up. All right, so we are 2-0 with a nice quick win over blue-red Murktide. Good start. Okay, so we have a hand here where we are on the draw. This hand is kind of interesting. I mean, we have a shoal worm, which is not necessarily the most useful. We have a rumble, and then we have the Griselbrand in hand, but no way to get it into our yard yet. I think I'm going to keep this because rumble could hit cookbook. It could also hit saga to find cookbook. So this hand is potentially a little bit slow, but I'm interested in... Okay, what? Is this a real card? Surely that's not a real card. What even plays that? Mono white Martyr, maybe? Alright, I mean, I guess. So the question is, do I wait a turn to discard Griselbrand, in which case my turn 2 is play a land, play a surveil land, turn 3 is play rumble, and then turn 4 I would win? I mean, I think a turn 4 is reasonably likely to get there, given I have like shoal worm in hand. So I think I am just gonna go to discard here. It does rely on the rumble token living. What on earth? Okay, I mean, that's something. Yeah, that's powerful. It's like pitch white. This is gonna be a clock. I mean, we're taking 4 on turn 2. And we're going to take another 6 on turn 3. This worm is going to be important. We know one of the cards in their hand is this Providence, which doesn't matter. Yeah, and that's going to be 8 the next turn. Oh no, did they pitch the... No, they pitched the Providence. Never mind. All right, so let's surveil. So far they've had no follow-up though, which is nice and important. Saga. I think I don't need that. It's too slow at this point. All right, so we've got rumble. I'm going to play woodland and I'm going to rumble. And we hit a Gori... Well, we don't get the Gorios. Okay, so I'm going to take the Zurin Orb. That's potentially something I will need to gain some life. And we're going to be taking a hit. As long as our spawn doesn't die, I think we're in okay shape. If our spawn does die, we're in trouble. And I think our spawn is likely to die, because what do they have in their hand? But who knows? They've got a Legion's Landing. That doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter? No, it doesn't matter. They're at 30 life, too, which is going to be a little bit dicey. So, yeah, I mean, we take 8 down to 1. And nothing. Okay. Let's exile a worm. One shoal in the yard already, which is a little bit awkward. No spikes in the yard, though, which is important. All right, so we're going to go to our turn. Draw for turn. Boseiju is not relevant. Got a polluted delta that we are going to fetch with, and we do get to try here. Getting a swamp. Play the... Oh, am I going to play the Zurin Orb? Not yet. There's no need yet. We'll copy the Griselbrand. Play the Zurin Orb. Now, do they have... Okay, they have Path, so that doesn't really matter. I can win in response. So, okay, so that essentially costs us 4 life, but that is okay. So we can get rid of the worm. Draw some more. We do have an exact multiple, which is very nice here. So we'll exile worm again. We'll spike them. So 32, we need 8 exiles. I didn't count whether we can actually do this. I'm just going to hope that we can. Spike them again. Draw another 7. Spike them again. I'm just gonna need, if I can do this, I'm gonna need to exile everything. We're down to 0 cards. Spike them again. And then it's 4 more. So now I endurance. Is there anything other pitch? No. Okay. So I'll exile Rumble. Evoke the endurance. So that's going to be 16 cards. Can't really, even if I use my other endurance early, I can't get this to like a good multiple of cards. So it's just going to have to be what it is. So we will target ourselves. Evoke. Reshuffle. Draw 7. Okay, we hit another spike, so we'll spike. Getting rid of those 2. We'll shoal a worm. Draw another 7. Getting rid of these 2. So we have 2 with the footsteps and the Thoughtseize. I think we have it. Barely. So if I endurance again now, I will have exactly 7 that I draw. So I can endurance pitching Rumble. Reshuffle. Draw another 7. And the only black cards I have left are spikes. Oh no, I have 1 more Griselbrand and 1 Goryo's. Okay. So they scoop it up and we win the first game, beating an opponent from 30 life without a Griselbrand attack. That was another sweet one. Even though this deck is interesting. Providence, I am doubtful as to whether that's a playable card, but maybe. I wonder if this is a deck that, like, I don't know. It's interesting. It's certainly interesting. Like, I guess plays the energy shell with like Force of Virtue, mono white energy. I wonder what else this Providence is for, though, because if it's just there as like a pitch card for Force, I think it's not good enough. Maybe you also pitch it to Solitude, though. And what is the rest of the purpose? I don't know. Maybe it's playing like, it could be playing like Martyr and like Soul Sister, so it's like a Soul Sisters energy hybrid. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, next round coming up. And by next round, I mean sideboarding. I'm not sure what I was saying there. So what do I want? Haywire Might. I expect probably some Artifact or Enchantment hate. The creature removal is not as important, but I will still take like 1 or 2 packed. Zurin Orb, they do have some speed. I don't mind. Yeah, okay. And if they gain the life, I do want the black cards, really. So that's an argument to be made for Witherbloom over Rumble, potentially. So what don't I need? Probably can trim 1 land on the draw. Footsteps is like fine. Cookbook, yes. Haywire. I'm assuming I'll need that. Maybe I don't need the full 4. No, I do expect like Rest in Peace or like things like that, though. Cut at least a couple Rumble. Maybe like 3 Rumble. Maybe we only need 1 packed just to draw to it. And then 1 more Rumble. Could be a little bit slow on the draw. And the Zurin Orb. I mean, the Zurin Orb, they can be very fast. Are they likely to be that fast in general? Probably not. Okay, maybe we'll cut a Thoughtseize and go like this. And we keep the black count the same, so we could conceivably beat 30. Yeah, we could barely beat 30 life. So we have a Goryo's, we have 2 Sagas, a Haywire Might. I don't love this. I mean, it could get there. The Goryo's is good. Saga turns into Cookbook. Might deals with hate. If I draw another black card, I can potentially like spike their energy creature, and then if they overload on hate, just kill them with Saga. I'm going to keep it. I don't think it's great, but I think it has enough ways that it could turn into a good hand that I'm willing to take the risk. Okay, they have the Ocelot Pride. So if I draw a black card, I probably do just spike this Pride. And I do, although it's a Griselbrand. So if I turn 1 Might, turn 2 Counsel, yeah, okay, so we just have a potential turn 3 here. And so I think that changes things a little bit. I'm going to play the Saga, and I'm going to play the Haywire Might. And yeah, we have a Haywire Might, so that's pretty good. No Providence, so they don't have the extra life. They are pitching a Force of Virtue. Speaker of the Heavens. Sure. So, I mean, they do take 2 from this. I could blow it up. And they've got another Ocelot Pride. That's powerful. They're going to make a bunch of tokens. Go to our turn. We pick up Shoal. So here I have to shock this in, and I then get to Counsel for a Griselbrand. And I'm going to take 6 here and go to 10, basically, is the thing. And that's just what it's going to have to be. I mean, if I chump with the Might. I mean, I kind of have to, I think, probably. But let's see what else they do. They have Legion's Landing. That's not a big deal. I mean, sure, they're going to ascend, but the goal is to win next turn, so... They didn't have a 3rd land, so they do get to transform it. Oh, this makes another land, though. Alright, so I am going to block. We gain a couple life from this as well, so effectively we only take 4. What do they have? Hopefully it's not just like a, I don't know, Deafening Silence or whatever. Guide of Souls, that's fine. Alright, so 2 cards in hand. Could definitely have a Solitude, but we can't really do anything about that other than play around it with like our natural ability to. Opponent is gaining 8 million life. We do get to hit them with the Griselbrand here, and if it weren't for that, we would actually be in trouble. Go to our turn, draw for turn. We draw a Griselbrand, not what we need. So we're floating a mana, getting a Cookbook. Yeah, we'll get a Cookbook. Dump a Griselbrand. Reanimate said Griselbrand. Do they have, I don't think they have anything with flying. Yeah, so we're gonna go to our turn. All right, so it puts them to 28. So we have to beat 28. So we spike, getting rid of Griselbrand and a council. We'll spike again, getting rid of Goryo's and a Witherbloom command. We'll draw some more cards. I'm holding back on the ability to use a fetch land to like loop something into my yard if I need to like keep graveyard sizes good for an endurance. Now with the pact though, I feel like we probably just have this. We have more shoal worm to do. We have another spike. And we've got another draw 7. The one thing is our bottom 7 are like kind of awkward. We're not a good multiple. So I'm gonna shoal a worm, play a Zurin orb. Our opponent scoops it up. Okay, so we get the match over some very fast starts from energy, or like I guess mono white energy Martyr. All right, we're 2-0. Okay, so we are on the play with a somewhat sketchy hand here. We have a way to get a Griselbrand into the yard. We have a Goryo's Vengeance to get it back out. We don't have a Griselbrand. So we have 8 Griselbrands, essentially. Mortuary to find something. This could be a Saga plan if that's not working. I'm going to keep this. I don't love it, but I think between the 8 full hits as well as Rumble and like the extra look from Mortuary and the fact that we have a built-in Saga plan maybe already happening, I think it has enough chances that I'm willing to keep it. So we'll lead on Mortuary. And I will keep a Rumble on top. That's just more looks at a Griselbrand. Opponent is going to lead on something. Double spike in hand is a little bit awkward, meaning that this is effectively a mulligan to effectively like a mulligan to 5, but I mean sometimes spike is relevant. We'll see. Opponent is not a Jegantha deck, so maybe they're not energy. If they are like Frogtide or something like that, I like having Saga Plan. Oh, maybe they are energy. Okay. Arid Mesa. They could be control. I like this hand against control, I think. So we'll play Saga. And I mean, yes, they can Wrath us or whatever, but sometimes that's how it goes. Do I want Zurin Orb or do I want Shoal or Worm? I think I'm actually going to take the Zurin Orb. And then I'm just going to jam that. It gives them something to like maybe try to remove that doesn't matter. Like I'd rather them remove that than my spawn or whatever, I think. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. So they go for the Parlor. It is good against if our opponent is actually on... Oh, Portico. Okay, so maybe Zoo. Zoo would have Jegantha, though. Could it be control splashing for binding? We'll see. Okay, so not going to be like a control deck. I guess it could be Zoo. Maybe it's just like Naya energy? Is that a thing? Safi Eric's daughter. Sure. All right. So I guess this is maybe, is this Brood Scale? Or some sort of, maybe it's Samwise. Samwise combo? Some sort of like creature combo deck. We pick up another Soul Spike, which is certainly interesting. So if I had to, I could spike, pitch, spike, spike. That is definitely dicey. I'm going to play the Verdant. I'm going to fetch with it now. Again, so that I have my construct making just up. And we're looking at, making some guys, getting a cookbook, and maybe trying to control the game a little bit with Spike. If they like play a... I'm getting the land just so that I preserve my life total. Yeah, so... Yeah, okay. So maybe until they play something that I need to spike this for, I'm not going to spike it. But if they play something like threatening that I need to spike it for, I will consider spiking it. All right, so they're attacking. That's fine. They've got a birthing ritual. Okay. So we'll set a stop on our opponent's second main here. Are they going to give us priority in their second main, or are they going to play another creature? They're playing a static prison. So... all right, let's see what they target with this. They do target our Zurin Orb. That's okay. So I think I actually am going to spike the Safi. I think I'm going to get rid of 2 spikes. Yeah, the other option is I get rid of Spike Gorios, but I think I'm just going to get rid of the 2 spikes. Make a construct. Sure, that's fine. So that we don't gain the life. So the prison happens. Then I make a construct. Then we go to my turn. Make another construct. Go get a cookbook. Discard a swamp or delta? Swamp, I guess. Play a delta. Attack. Alright, I mean, maybe. If we draw a Griselbrand, we're in okay shape. If we draw, they don't have a creature for the birthing ritual yet. Oh, they don't pay it. They're at 11. I mean, could they have combo tools? Certainly. Gives us another artifact back. And these guys could keep growing. Depending on the situation, I can... oh no, I can't bin the Gorios. Like Coco or something would be kind of scary, I guess. Or they could have Sam, but then... okay, Innkeeper, yeah. And then... Rallier. Okay. They do gain a life there. Bring back the static prison. Target a construct, maybe? Or do they target cookbook? Some interesting options. They do target cookbook. Alright, I mean, yeah, it's gonna happen. See what they sack. They do sack it to go get an extraction specialist. And they bring back a Safi. All right. Well, we fetch, get a tomb. So now Rumble into Griselbrand is probably my best hit, but 2 Rumbles are gone, so I don't like our odds. Shoal is pretty useless. I mean, we can attack them, but I think we've lost with the Saga plan being too slow here, probably. So I'm thinking we're probably dead. There's the question of, do they pay the static prison? But okay, so does this loop? So if they, I guess they don't have a sack, like a repeatable sack outlet yet. If they have a repeatable sack outlet, they can, yeah. Why would, oh no, because it can't attack or block. Okay, so this extraction dies, they bring back the Safi with the extraction. So essentially they have like a looping defense here. So we did 4 to, but then they gained 2, so we did 2 damage. Why did it not do 2 damage though? Oh no, because they lifelinked. We actually lost 1 damage. They gained a life. All right, not great. So we'll see, do they pay the prison? So now, yeah, we need to draw like a Griselbrand. And we've had the time for it. Another innkeeper. Yeah, so if they have a reliable sack outlet, this is infinite life. But so far I don't see like a, like I guess Goblin Bombardment would do it. Maybe like Viscera Seer. Viscera Seer. Okay, but are they going to Birthing Ritual it? Probably. Unless they just have another sack outlet in their hand, in which case, GG, I guess. Oh, they're just re-extracting it. They're gaining a bunch of life. We've really been playing against the life gain decks today. Oh boy. Yeah. Now this is going to probably be bad for us with some more looping. Sack and extraction specialist. Sack it. Well, they should have sacked their Safi in response, no? Oh, they did. All right. No, they sacked their, what did they sacrifice? All right, so they're eating the Zurin Orb. That's fine. That doesn't matter. They gain some more life. It probably has to be Rumble into Griselbrand, otherwise we're just too slow. But let's see. I mean, we have Beseiju. We could get back Static Prison. So, okay. I mean, that's a start. We'll leave back to block because we're not winning through combat anymore. So, I mean, hopefully they just kind of miss on the ritual, but... So we'll do some blocking. Again, they're going to gain this life either way, so I don't mind just trying to block where I can, save my life total as much as possible. This at least... Oh no, it'll just give me a 0 back. Never mind. All right. Well... They get the extraction, they can extract back the... They're going to have so much life. I guess this deck just like... This should have an infinite combo, but I don't actually see... I mean, well, they haven't shown it yet. With 2 spikes gone, this is also just out of our reach, but I don't want them to necessarily know that yet. I also want to see if they have like an infinite via creatures, and seeing 14 cards here, I think they're very likely to. But maybe they're just life gain, in which case, I mean, surely it can't cost them too much to play some sort of creature that turns this into an infinite, though. Yeah, with the 2 spikes, we're just dead. And yes, I know I could have Beseju'd this sooner. It doesn't do anything. We were just dead at that point anyway. So I guess maybe this is just like anti-energy life gain. Would be interesting. Just like a super meta deck. I mean, we did get them low, right? We had a chance. They're gonna have so much life. Spinner, what does this do? Sure. Yeah, I mean, I just want to see if they're gonna like go infinite in some way, but I guess they're not at this point. Surely if they had an infinite, they would have hit it. So I feel like maybe they're just purely life gain without an infinite. Do I want to show them Beseiju? I think I don't. So then I'm going to crack the food to make them think that that's what I was doing. Because I can't win from this point. All right, so we'll scoop it up. I want them to think that we could still win from that point, though. Because maybe it makes them like value things differently. All right, Witherbloom commands, yes. Asmo, I mean, the creature plan is not one that I'm super into. Haywire Might is good. Zurin Orb, no. I do expect to need black cards. Rumble, I'm gonna get rid of. Yeah, I want to keep the black card count up. Ghost Vacuum, no. Ulamog, no. Do I want Asmo? Maybe I can cut a Turn Timber. They don't really pressure my life total much. Although, if I'm going to do that, I should probably just cut a... Yeah, I might need the extra green card. Although I can start pitching Shoals later, and that's usually okay. Why? What's happening here? The client is not really being cool. Give me a second here. I may be right back. I might have to do a restart of the client. Okay, never mind. It just started working again, so I guess it's okay. All right, so I think on the play, I'm going to expect them to not be quite as high of a life total. Why is... No? Is it... Okay, whatever update they did, I hate it. Yeah, all right, let's run like that. Trim down to 2 Thoughtseizes. Witherblooms, Haywire Mites, and go like this. All right, so we've got a hand that doesn't do anything. That's a mulligan. We've got a hand that is pretty good. This is a keep. This is a turn 2, actually. So I'm going to get rid of... I guess I'm going to get rid of the Demonic Counsel. They're not going to like Thoughtseize me. So here I'm going to go turn 1, Saga, Cookbook. Here we go. I really should not be yielding until the next end step. All right, Guide of Souls. Yes. So on end step, discard a Griselbrand. Go to our turn. We ask our opponent the question of, do you have Surgical Extraction? You don't? That's going to be the game. So we've got Shoal Pitch Worm. Draw another 7. Spike them. I won't show the Witherbloom commands. I'm only going to show cards that they probably already know about. Shoal another worm. Spike them again. More Griselbrands. Draw another 7. I know we have the what's it called, the spike in hand, but I don't want to show them the footsteps unless I can help it. Because it doesn't really matter. I showed them a Thoughtseize. I don't think they knew about that, but it's all right. So, notably, we didn't show them Endurance, which I like for us. Thoughtseize, UR Might, Cookbook. Yeah, I think this is just what I want to be doing. I could cut a land on the draw, and maybe we could run one Rumble, or we could run the Thoughtseize, or we could run the Dream Devourer, or we could run the Zern Orb. I don't need the Zern Orb. I guess maybe the Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize has some speed to it, which is nice. Extra black card if there's like life total issues. One Pact could also be interesting, but I expect their hate to be basically like stuff that plays to the board. So, and between Witherbloom and the 4 Haywire Mites, I feel like that's a reasonable amount of things that could stop us taking care of. It's a giant Thoughtseize. And this hand doesn't do anything again, so that's going to be a mulligan. This hand puts a Griselbrand into the yard, doesn't get it back out. I think this is likely to be too slow. I'm going to mulligan that. This hand is worse. Oh, are we going to 4? I think we're going to 4. This hand doesn't get anything into the yard. Okay, this hand is not exciting, but it has a chance. Endurance can go away. Do I keep shifting and Tomb? Do I keep Cookbook when I know I have Saga? I think no, because unless I send away Saga. I could send away Saga and send away Thoughtseize. And then I just have 2 lands Cookbook. Yeah, okay, I think I like that. I'm just trying to be speedy. Can't really play around anything, but that's just what it is. All right, well, we'll try it on 4. They've got a turn 1 Guide of Souls. We've got a Worm. Play the Cookbook. Pass the turn. Part where this Cookbook gets static prisoned is sad, but we don't really have a way around it, I don't think. See what they have. Do they have like Rest in Peace? Do they have Birthing Ritual? Could be, okay, it's Crystal Barricade. That's fine. That doesn't do anything. Oh wait, you have Hexproof. Oh no, we can just beat that though. We just spike it. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Alright, so that's a Surveil land, which is good. It's not so useful right now because it's, I mean, I guess if I Surveil into Griselbrand, it's pretty good. Yeah, so we can just spike the Crystal Barricade. That doesn't matter. Okay, another Guide of Souls. Yes, gain some life. Demonic Counsel is just a little bit slow at this point, but I mean, I would still take it over nothing. And opponent has a Safi, so 2 more life. They're going to chunk us with the Guide of Souls, probably. Nothing yet. Okay, so on end step, we Surveil. Saga to the yard. That's not what we need. Another Worm is also not what we need. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're in what I would call trouble. I mean, we can eat a worm here. It's a large meal, but you know, sometimes that's how it goes. Sanctifier and Vec. All right, that's probably lights out. That card's a problem. Not really sure why they're, I guess maybe for Gorios, but Gorios is playing, I think they're playing Ulamog. Aren't they playing Ulamog? In which case this card is not good. I'm not sure what this is for. Why is this in the board? I don't know. Frog is mostly playing blue cards, so it doesn't really do anything against Frog. Energy, I mean, the pro red is like not that useful. There's no, I guess it has to be for Gorios, which again seems suspect. But I don't know, maybe it's just like a one of or something. Going to 5. And yeah, looking grim. I'll discard a worm. Yeah, I mean, Sanctifier Storm maybe? But it's only permanent cards. So it doesn't do anything there. I'm not sure what it's for. I mean, I could like reanimate a worm, but we can't do anything with it. Yeah, I mean, we just missed on the Griselbrand. We had a couple draws to potentially hit, but we didn't. We mulled to 4. That's the match. Sometimes with a combo deck like this, you are going to run into consistency issues, but you know, we'll keep going. Okay, so we have a hand that kind of reminds me of the hand we just kept in the last game that didn't quite work out, where we've got some discard, we've got Agorios, we have a Saga plan that could happen. By last game, I mean like the first round of last match. And if I hit any of my Griselbrands, I'm in pretty good shape. We've got 8, and if not, we potentially have a Saga plan that we can do something with. I am going to keep it. It didn't work out last time, but I mean, it's not necessarily the fault of the hand, right? Probably, depending, I may play this tapped on 1 and then just play like double Cookbook on 2, because I'm going to use that mana anyway, and this preserves 2 life. Like, what else am I going to use that mana for? If I draw like a Council or a Rumble, I'm going to be able to play the Cookbook in there anyway, so I'm not super concerned about that happening or not. So I'm just going to not pay the life. They've got a Flagstones. All right. Underground Mortuary is interesting. Do we play that now and play it a little bit slower? I think we do. It's one of the more awkward draws. I'm going to bin the Thoughtseize and just play a Cookbook. Pass. So Flagstones, we could certainly be getting our lands destroyed. So in that case, it's good we have a lot of lands. Presumably they will start destroying Urza's Sagas, and I'm relatively okay with that, actually. Okay, they have March, that's fine. Shifting Woodland. Alright. Do I play another Cookbook here? I think I don't. Because I don't want to expose it to like another March, maybe. Let's hear if they go like land, Demolition Field, my Saga. I mean, sure. Oh, they have another Flagstones. That's okay. I mean, they do get to Demolition Field my Saga, but they want to do it, they have to do it now, and it taps them out. We'll go get a Swamp. Lanes. Pass out of the phase. Nothing else really going on. So I suspect this is, I guess, like the Boom Bust deck. Play another Saga, give them another thing to destroy that isn't actually one of my colored lands, which I think I care about more. They do have another Demolition Field, so they're going to use it. And nothing. Okay. We drew Agorios, which we don't need, but I will play Shifting Woodland, so I could Shifting into a Saga if I want. It's kind of a cute play. They've got a Field of Ruin. Does that work if I copy something? I'm just gonna test it because I don't actually know if it does. Oh no, I can't anyway. Because I don't have Delirium. I just have Land, Sorcery, Enchantment. Alright, well that's gonna happen. All right, so now they know how many lands we have in our deck. I always feel a little bit uncomfortable when... Okay, and they flage us. That's fine. They do get to escape the flage next turn. A little bit annoying. Again, we've had 8 hits for a while here. We could draw one. That would be nice. Draw another Shifting Woodland. Now, I could play the Cookbook here with the idea of dumping Worm and then starting to hit them with Worm. I think that's a little bit dicey. I don't think I want to expose the Cookbook. They have the Ring. That's fine. Castle Ardenvale. No Field of Ruin. Could be a boom bust. White Orchid Phantom. Alright, we've lost another land. Come on, any of the 4 Griselbrands, any of the 4 Demonic Councils, I would accept Rumble. I've had a lot of draws now. It's turn 6. So we've seen a lot of cards. We've even had the Surveil. Okay, Rumble is worth the attempt. We do hit a Griselbrand, so I'm going to put the Endurance into hand. This should be the game. Now, our opponent has 1 ringed, so that is worth noting. I'm going to put the Endurance into hand. Griselbrand is in the yard. I could play a Cookbook. There's kind of no reason to, though. So I can pass and then go on my opponent's upkeep, or I can wait for them to like take an action that matters. I could Goryo's back if they attack. I think I'll let them have the card, because I think the card is not that likely to matter, although... Do I want to let them have 2 more cards here? Maybe not. Alright, maybe I'll let it happen, because I think they're likely to like bring back Flage or something like that. Cleansing Wildfire. Yeah, that's fine. It's gonna happen. What else do they have? Another Flagstones. Yeah. They can't bring the Flage back. Parlor, they're surveilling. That's fine. So maybe they're going to do something with this mana in this phase. They're passing out of the phase, which I think I'm okay with. If they try to remove the spawn, I can just use the spawn. All right, so I'm gonna try to go here, I think, because I can block, and that forces the action first, and it essentially gets me an extra 7 cards. All right, so I'm going to spike them in the face. Get rid of Thoughtseize Gorios. We'll see, do they have another removal spell or something like that? Looks like maybe no. We draw another 7. I'm gonna shoal, no, I'm gonna spike them first. We'll get rid of a Griselbrand and a Demonic Counsel. So the rare turn 7 here. Exile Worm. Gain a bunch of life. Got 3 more draws and then we're looping spikes. They got something. They got another path. Why didn't they use that earlier? That's bizarre. So we can shoal a Turn Timber. Draw another 7. Shoal a Worm. spike them again. So if we can get through double path, that would be pretty cool. Although I think they maybe made a mistake as far as the timing. We'll draw another 7, 16. We can spike them again. Get rid of Counsel and Vengeance. We can shoal another worm. So yeah, forcing the action first on blocks I think was pretty useful here. So I'll exile a Rumble. We do have another Endurance if we need it. Reshuffle. All right, we'll draw another 7. We have another spike lined up here. Counsel and Counsel. And they scoop it up. All right, so a very cool win over, I guess, like the red-white like land destruction. All right, so we've got to go to sideboarding. So what do I what am I concerned about here? I mean, I expect some sort of artifact or enchantment based hate. I feel like I'm interested in these Haywire Mites. I feel like I'm interested in potentially the Dream Devourer, Witherbloom commands. I don't feel like I need the Rumbles as much. What is they've made this client worse. Whatever the patch was, something is wrong and I don't like it. Footsteps I will still keep just for speed, like if my lands are getting blown up. I don't want to get rid of a land. I'm gonna get rid of Zernor, but I don't feel like the life total pressure really matters. What else? We could cut like 1 endurance. That feels a little bit risky. I don't think I like that. Maybe it has to be the Dream Devourer for being a little bit slow. Although I do like the ability to just like plot a Griselbrand. Actually, I'm never gonna have enough lands to cast it though, so that's not, we don't need that. And then maybe we don't need both Witherblooms, so go like this. Could also go down to like 3 Haywire maybe. How do I feel about this? It doesn't do anything, so this is gonna be a mulligan. This hand also, well, on the draw, I could keep it, bin the Griselbrand. The problem is it's like very all in. If they have like a Rest in Peace or something like that, we're just toast. And it only has 1 land. Is that good enough on a 6, or do we go to 5? I try to like secure 2 lands. A lot of their things do turn us into swamps. Oh, but on 6, I'm gonna have to pass twice. Yeah, I'm less interested in that. All right, I'm gonna mulligan to 5. Okay, this we will keep. Get rid of the endurance and get rid of a swamp. I want my basics in my deck as like potential fetch targets, so we'll do that. And land, sorcery. I guess let's see what we draw to see what we do with this Thoughtseize. They've got a Relic of Progenitus. Okay. We've got a Nourishing Shoal. So I'm not going to Thoughtseize the Griselbrand into the yard, obviously. Now the other thing is I could Thoughtseize them. I could also wait a turn. I think I'm going to wait a turn and Surveil here. So we'll fetch. Mortuary. I don't need to stop on their second main anymore. Yeah, so they get rid of our one thing. Shoal, I'm gonna bin. I don't feel like we need that. Go to our turn. Footsteps is decent. I'm gonna Thoughtseize them. Council's a little bit useless here, but alright, so what do they have? They have a White Orchid Phantom, a Solitude, a Flage. I'm gonna get rid of the White Orchid Phantom, I think. I don't want my lands getting attacked that much. The Solitude doesn't really matter, and I'm gonna make them hold the Flage for the Solitude potentially. So we'll exile the Thoughtseize. Instant, yeah. Soul Spike, not good. I could counsel for like a Goryo's, or sorry, I mean, the Dream Devourer would be a potential counsel if I still had it in the deck, but can't. So I'm just gonna pass. We're gonna hope to find like a Haywire Might, maybe eat the relic. If they want to blow up a land, that's okay. But think about a Pithing Needle potentially as a sideboard card again. I ran one for a little while. I took it out. I think there is merit to it. They've got the land. Do they Flage us is the question. Maybe they don't. No, they're holding it for the Solitude. We continue to draw trash. I mean, that can definitely happen. Eat the Nourishing Shoal if they want. That's fine. They've got the ring. Okay, sure. Draw another card. Worm. I mean, we can shoal a worm. We don't want to need to do that because we will lose a shoal, but rather than discarding something, maybe. This tomb is going to get blown up, and then we're going to have problems, though, is the thing. Yeah. Yeah, so now, I mean, we don't have the green for Haywire Might anymore, which is a problem. They've got another relic. So now I guess we need to hit Saga, and that's probably still not enough. Yeah, this is looking bad now. And we do draw the Haywire Might, but we can't really do anything with it yet. So I'm gonna shoal pitch the worm, and yeah, the two relics is just not great. So we're gonna pass again. I mean, maybe there's a world where like we draw a green source, they crack one of these relics to cycle, figuring they don't need both, and then I don't know. Maybe they get low enough with the ring and we just like naturally spike them out. That'd be cool. Yep, that's not gonna happen. Yes, that only destroys non-basic. Oh, they're destroying their own flagstones. Yeah, that's fine. So it ramps them. Alright, I mean, they're gonna take 3 from the ring next turn. Maybe they just kind of kill themselves too quickly. That'd be cool. So that means that actually I want to draw like a spike and a black card and just have 8 damage in hand for secret. So we draw a cookbook. So I'm going to play the cookbook. Am I going to play the cookbook or am I going to play the Haywire Might? I'm going to play the Haywire Might. Make them think that this matters. We're not going to win this though, but maybe we win this. Okay, so they do crack a relic, but they're still leaving 2 relics. They're going to draw a million cards. All right. I mean, the thing is, they need to actually kill me before the... Okay, they do get to... Oh, now they're going to start looping the Flage. All right, so that's going to be it. Yeah, because now that once they bring the Flage back, then it's every turn it's Flage. So that's going to be enough life gain to the point where we're not going to double spike them out. Yeah, and they have double Flage. I guess they can't bring them back yet. But, well, I mean, they're going to take 5 and then 6. I guess if I draw a runner black card, and they like fetch, maybe I'll give it one more draw step. That is not runner black card. Oh, I guess we'd have to draw spike and black card actually, so it's just even less likely. All right, we'll play a delta. It doesn't really give them any new info. Oh, and they discarded marches, so now they can just escape it. All right, this is over. We'll scoop it up. So we are 1-1. Okay, they really had the graveyard hate. Probably do want the last Witherbloom back in. Dream Devourer, I just don't really see how we're ever getting to enough lands to do that. Ghost Vacuum is a way to fight some of the hate, but I think it's probably just not good enough. Asmo, I mean, yeah, I don't think Asmo is really where we want to be either. So, well, no, but we cut one Thoughtseize and we go like this. Yeah, all right. Just trying to rely on our speed. We can be very fast. How do I feel about this? It doesn't do anything, so that's going to be a mulligan. This hand does get a Griselbrand and then put it into play on turn 3, so I will keep it. Bottom the shoal. Opponent has mulligan to 5 cards, so I mean maybe they don't have a relic, hopefully. So I'm going to lead on the Saga, and then on turn 2 we go Counsel for the Griselbrand. This is a hand that can win, can lose too. If they have the right piece of hate, it's not really so resilient against hate, but I think if they have a relic, they'd play it here, right? So, oh, they have March on our Saga. That's awful. Oh, that's very bad. All right, I mean, we've got Swamp. We've got both of our Swamps in hand. That's probably game losing, actually. I mean, maybe they just don't have as much follow-up. Relic, yeah, sure. If they're going to blow up one of these swamps, it's not looking great. We do pick up a Thoughtseize. I think I actually need to Thoughtseize them here first. Just like try and cripple their hand. They just have double path. Okay, so their hand doesn't actually do anything. Maybe there's a chance. Flagstones, yeah. Picked up another spike. We put the Griselbrand into hand. So now we need Cookbook. Saga would be acceptable. We also need to deal with this relic. And we have six cards that do. They're gonna just Ghost Quarter us, sure. It's not like the second black was really doing anything anyway. Oh, and they just drew runner land destruction. Okay, sure. Oh, they're hitting themselves. Oh, because it's non-basic. Okay, never mind. It's still bad, but it's not as bad. So they ramp. They have one path in hand. So I need, oh man, fetch land, I guess, and then get the surveil land, surveil something useful to the top. We'll see, do they bin or keep? They bin another flagstones, okay. Okay, we pick up the Haywire Mite. I'm not going to play that yet. But now if I draw a green producing land, we're kind of in business. I still need to draw a discard outlet, but it's better than nothing. Get rid of the swamp, I guess. Problem is, I feel like they're going to draw out of this first. The March was just very bad. I mean, hopefully their hand is all just like removal spells. Path, Solitude, Flage is like fine. I guess they bring it back next turn is the only thing, so it's not fine. But yeah, it's not fine at all, actually, because we're just too slow. I mean, that's like kind of okay, but it's too little too late. Footsteps is not what we need. And I mean, I can't play the Haywire Might because it dies. I guess I could like spike the White Orchid Phantom. I mean, so if I spike the Phantom now, I go to 17. They bring back the Flage. They hit me to 14. Flage represents 9. I Haywire Eat. I am at 16, 9, 7. And I'd have to draw a discard outlet, and that costs 0 mana, which doesn't exist. Okay. Are there any other options? Can I kill the Flage? No. I think I just have to take it and like hope they don't bring back the Flage or something. So that's fine. So I don't really know what my plan is if I just like, I don't know, green light them to bring it back, although I think they're certainly going to bring it back. Yeah, I mean, this is all just lost. They have the path still. Exiling the 5. I mean, if I draw a black card, I could, in theory, double spike this thing, but it's not a winning line. I guess I can, like, might and then maybe... Okay, I mean... So if I... But... Is there any way I can just, like, live this with... Oh, I have to live this with the might. So I might... I... Eat the relic. I need them to actually not path this. Okay, they don't. So now they're gonna hit me. Well, they're gonna attack, and then the attack trigger shoots the Haywire, I would imagine, and forces me to take action there. I guess I spike the Phantom. I eat the relic. Or I eat the relic, then I spike the Phantom. Eat the relic, then spike the Phantom. Next turn, hope we draw an untapped land. We'll draw a card. And also hope that they don't draw land destruction. That's another important piece of this. So that happens. That happens. Pass to blocks. Here I spike the Phantom. I'll get rid of Gorios and Spike. We take 6, go to 8. If we draw land, maybe we're in business if they have nothing. Again, they have path. Oh, it has to be untapped land that doesn't cause me damage because, again, they have path. That is not untapped land that doesn't cause me damage. So we are instead what one would call dead. All right. I mean, it was very close for how badly that started. I mean, if we draw like an untapped land, we have decent chances. I mean, we need to hit exactly Shoal plus Worm probably because we only have one effective draw because they have path. But I mean, there was chances. All right, round number 5. We're 2-2 for all of the glory here, or at least for a positive record. All right, we've got what one would call an unkeepable 7 against the Gigantha deck, so snap them all. This is also unkeepable. We've got no lands, so we're on 5. I mean, we have a way to get a Griselbrand into the yard and a way to get it out, but I think I'd rather honestly go to 4. This hand is not good. What is this hand? This hand needs to draw very, very well. I mean, okay, maybe if we draw like... Okay, maybe with Surveil Land. Okay, I could put away Spike and Endurance. Turn 1, we Surveil. Alright, or turn 1, I Thoughtseize. Turn 2, I like Surveil Cookbook. Alright, I will keep this. I don't think it's good, but it maybe is better than a 4. It has similar levels of you need to draw out, unless it's just like the perfect 4. We're on the draw, so that's not great. Guide of Souls, yeah. Spike. So, yeah, I'm kind of priced into Thought Seizing here, I think. And they've got Flage, Ocelot. Okay, so I'm going to take Ocelot. And just, like, stem the bleeding as much as I can. Ring and Flage are both slow. So, Ocelot's the card that could, like, aggro us down. I don't really care about Ring, and I don't really care about Flage either. Saga. Saga is an interesting pickup. Alright, I will play it. Play a cookbook. And I'm going to pass. So, Shifting Woodland. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, we have chances. Presumably they just, like, Flage us and pass here. If so, I'm feeling somewhat optimistic. Not, like, super odd. Oh, a Johnny's bad. It's not as bad as, like, if they had this Ocelot prod going this whole time, because then we'd be, like, probably dead now. Rumble. Rumble's a decent hit. So I do need to get a green if I want to play this, which means I am going to need to fetch Shock, which is a little bit rough life total wise. But I don't really have a way around it. Just has to be what it is. So, yeah, we're going to Rumble. We hit nothing. So we have what one calls we've whiffed. And that's bad. That's pretty bad. Now they know what we're playing. All right, so no, they didn't have the energy. Do I want to block is kind of an interesting question. I could block the cat, take 2 to 10. Or I could discard the spike. I think I'd rather have the spike in hand, but I will block the cat. And basically, because the problem is even a council is not good enough anyway, because I don't have... Oh, but hang on. So the issue here is if they play land ring, then I can't actually win if I draw the Griselbrand, because my Saga's going away. All right, so I think I will actually take the hit and leave the spawn. Because, yeah, land ring then means I can't win. Whereas this is, I mean, if they didn't play the Flage pre-combat, I feel like they're trying to play the ring. Exactly. All right. So now, even if I lose my... So if I draw exactly a Griselbrand, I can win. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey. All right. I mean, I'll take it. Get a Zurin Orb. Play a land for turn. Pass to turn. Or pass the turn. We know they have... What do we know they have? They have Flage. And that's the only card we know still. Jegantha is revealed, but that doesn't matter. So do I want to go on their upkeep, or do I want to go... I think I do want to go on their upkeep. Right? Because what is the benefit to... It's going to be tapped anyway. Yeah, I'm going to go now, before they can, like, draw a bolt or whatever. Discard the Griselbrand. Make a food. Copy the Griselbrand. So we'll pay 7, draw. Have the spike in hand, which is nice. Worm. Ooh, we've what you call whiffed. All right, so no shoal and no extra black card. And I mean, I guess we could sack our lands, but if we do that, we're just dead. All right, never mind. That was a roller coaster. We could have won, and then yeah, because if we hit the spike, then we sack the 2, we draw more, we maybe get there. I mean, only off of 1 draw is a little bit unlikely, but I feel like with 1 spike in hand and a Zurin orb in play with 2 lands, that's probably on the more likely side of a 1 draw Griselbrand winning, but didn't quite work out. There was 1 shoal in the yard, so odds are a little bit lower from that. All right, so against Boros, Haywire Might, probably. They do also have like the Thraben Charm and stuff. I mean, Pact is actually not the worst against them. There's also, yeah, against like, you know, Damping Sphere or like permanent based hate. Asmo is, I think, slow. Ulamog is fine. Command over Rumble, or do I want Rumble? Thoughtseize is maybe not needed. We're gonna just try and play around like Thraben Charm or whatever. No, maybe not. Maybe we do still want the Thoughtseize, especially on the play. Cut a couple Rumbles. I could go the Witherblooms over the Rumbles maybe. And then we go like 3 of those. 3 mites? No, we should probably do 4. We're on the play. On the play, maybe we'll do 3. And we'll go down to like... We could cut the Zurin orb on the play, maybe. They're an aggro deck. Actually, it feels kind of bad to cut the Zurin orb, but too late. We're just going to win on turn 2. Sideboarding with this deck is something that's still, like, you have so few slots you can really board things in. So it can get a little bit dicey at times. I mean, this hand, we have Agorios. We don't have any way to put anything in the yard. It's going to be a mulligan. We have Agorios. We have a Thoughtseize. This is going to be another mulligan. That doesn't really do it. This is a little bit better. I can keep this. Get rid of the spikes. Yeah. And turn 1, I Thoughtseize myself. And then I hope we draw a land. Come on, land. And we hope that they don't have like a 1 mana hate card. But they could. They certainly could. They have Ghost Vacuum. Well, that's gonna do it. All right. I mean, sure. I'll just scoop it up right there. We're not on the Mold of 5. We're not beating that. Unfortunate. So we went 2 and 3. Let's hop back and take a look at the deck list. So I think that first of all, I hate the big cards. Whoever if whoever made this decision on Moto is listening, I don't know. Again, maybe if you can see it better, let me know, but like I don't like being able to not see my whole like sideboard and main deck in one go. The Asmo didn't really come up. The Dream Devourer didn't really come up. Haywire Might is good. I do think I want a Pithing Needle. I feel like we definitely played against some weird decks. The Ulamog didn't come up. Sideboarding is a little bit rough. And it felt like we had some consistency issues in some of the later games. Partly that's what you sign up for playing this deck, because like you have 4 Soul Spikes, 4 Worms, and 4 Shoals. If there was a way to compact down the win condition a little bit more, I think this would improve the deck substantially. And that's sort of the first place I can think of as far as like trying to make things a little bit cleaner. Discard, I mean, maybe we want the 4 Thoughtseize. Could go to like 4 Thoughtseize, 3 Cookbook. Be a little bit more interactive. But there's not really a lot of slots that can be trimmed or worked with here. It's possible. No, there's nothing. I was thinking, like, is there anything we can do with like mono black? Maybe something with like cut the green. Although maybe you need endurances at least. Endurance and like a very minor green splash. We cut the green. You play like March of Otherworldly, or no, what is it? The Black March, that gains 1,000,000 life if you like discard cards to it. Cut Shoal Worm. And then we play Spikes and like a couple Mox Amber. And you're like a mono black list with maybe a more compact win condition, and the marches can be used for like life in the meantime. You get a little bit more similar to being a Necro deck there. But okay, so you could play 4 March. You cut the Turn Timber, you cut the Rumbles. Maybe you don't cut the Turn Timber. Maybe you leave like a couple like MDFC lands for the endurances. And you play like a couple Mox Amber, 2 or 3 Mox Amber. Boosts the Sagas. I don't know if that's going to be enough life gain. It might. But I could also see that just not being enough life gain. Probably something I'd want to consider. I mean, I think this deck is like still okay. It just is feeling a little bit inconsistent to me lately, and I don't love the feel of that. I'm a little bit stuck on how to improve it, because it just feels like between the Shoal, the Worm, and the Spike, it's just kind of too many cards. Like traditional like Griselbrand, or not Griselbrand, Neoform. Neoform doesn't really play something in the Spike slot. And it also doesn't use the graveyard, so we're just getting hosed by Grave Hate, which Neoform doesn't really get hosed by. In theory, we have the Saga plan, but this is better the more like slower or more control-y decks there are. But at the moment, there's just not that many of those decks running around. It's like faster decks that can compete with like energy, or like energy decks themselves. In those cases, Saga is not a reasonable plan. All right, well, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, keep comboing. Next up might be that Land Nauseam deck again. I liked that, and I wanted to try and iterate on it a little bit more. Ruby probably due to make a reappearance at some point soon. I will have the modern RC in the spring, so as we get a little bit past the bans in December, we'll be doing a little bit more dedicated testing for that. But for now, as always, keep comboing. Bye, everyone.